Inspirational Creatives, Episode 0. Welcome to Inspirational Creatives, a podcast interview series to help you take your creative venture to the next level. This is Episode 0, where it all begins. This is a weekly series, and every Friday I invite you to join me as I talk to some of the world's most successful artists, producers, and creative entrepreneurs. These remarkable people have offered their time to share with you their own stories, personal stories of struggles, challenges, and success. By sharing with you their own personal stories and journeys, they will help you to take your creative business to the next level. Here you can learn how to avoid some of the costly challenges that these successful people they themselves once had to face. I'm your host, Rob Lawrence, and I want to thank you for joining me today. For this introductory episode, there will be no interview, but I will be sharing my vision for the show, a bit about my own journey, and also a sneak preview of what's to come. Before we get going, I kindly invite you to visit our website, inspirationalcreatives.com, which is a great opportunity for you to connect with other like-minded artists and entrepreneurs and those featured in the show. We're building a community and would love to have you on board. Inspirationalcreatives.com is also where you can find useful show notes and sign up for free exclusive bonus content. That's inspirationalcreatives.com. Now I'd like to talk about the aim of Inspirational Creatives. My vision is for you to create a life that has deep meaning to you. A life that is full of purpose and creativity, where you can inspire others and become financially free. Here at Inspirational Creatives, we can share our best ideas with other like-minded artists and entrepreneurs, helping each other to take our creative businesses to the next level. You're probably asking, so why did I create this series? Well, over the last 7 years, I've been working with many aspiring artists and entrepreneurs wanting to develop their own creative business. I realise that many people are stuck, perhaps like you. There are many ambitious people with great ideas who get immobilised and overwhelmed when attempting to launch their ideas into action. My drive behind this series was to help such people become unstuck by sharing what others have done to overcome this. Here at Inspirational Creatives, we can share our best ideas with other like-minded artists and entrepreneurs, helping each other to take our creative businesses to the next level. I won't be just stopping there with interviews though. That's why every Wednesday there will be a short follow-up action episode to keep your momentum flowing. My vision is to help you create a life that has deep meaning to you. A life that is full of purpose and creativity, where you can inspire others and become financially free. So if you've got a deep desire and a passion to pursue a purpose, a creative venture or business, doing what you believe in, then Inspirational Creatives is for you. Now you know why I've created Inspirational Creatives, I want to give you a brief insight into my own journey. I grew up in rural Oxfordshire, in England, in a middle-class family, and whilst we never had lots of money, we never went without. I've always wanted a creative career in music, but the opportunities seemed few and far between, and I was discouraged from it. When leaving school, I was encouraged to pursue a more technical career, and that's exactly what I did. My 20s were somewhat turbulent, with lots of partying, confused relationships, and suppressing my creative urges. However, my career went from strength to strength. I didn't really notice at the time, but looking back, I was getting more and more depressed and was on the road to burnout. After losing somebody close to me to cancer, I found myself asking lots of questions about what to do with my life. I quickly realised a childhood dream of travelling around Australia before the age of 30. Before I knew it, I was earning large sums of money with my career in technology and living by the ocean, living the dream. Although, I really wasn't. I was just doing the same job with the same problems as I had been doing in the UK. I just happened to be doing it in the sunshine now. One Saturday morning, I found myself sitting on my sofa, drinking coffee, watching the waves, wondering why I felt so unfulfilled. I felt guilty. I had almost everything anyone could possibly want, and I couldn't believe that I felt this way. Around this time, I was teaching guitar in my spare time. I vividly remember a 15-year-old girl spending the entire lesson telling me that she was deeply unhappy. She'd been prescribed antidepressants. She wanted a creative career but was told there were few opportunities. She didn't know what to do with her life. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It brought me back to my teenage self. I knew then something had to change. Here were all these unfulfilled creative people, including myself, stuck. How much better would our world be if we could unleash the full potential of everyone's creativity? The possibility of massive impact inspired me. I wanted to help people, but first I had to start with myself. After a period of deep exploration and a desire to change, I quickly gave up everything in Australia to explore my own creativity. My first stop was Berlin with 2 other musicians. The adventure was life-changing, but short-lived, and soon after I moved back to the UK, where I met my wife, an inspirational photographer. This was around the time I signed my first music contract as a composer for film and television music, which proved to me, with dedication and focus, anything is possible. I received a scholarship to study audio production back in Oxford, and I've since been running my own audio production business. So why a podcast? During all the years of gigging, commuting and travelling, I listened to lots of inspirational podcasts, and they really helped me. More recently, I've been editing and producing podcasts for other people. As I have a passion for sound and audio, recording my own podcast made sense. I believe podcasts are perfect for listening to what you want, when you want, and you can listen to them almost anywhere. I'm sure you'll agree that's a hard combination to beat. During a chance meeting in Berlin this year, it suddenly struck me that I have lots of useful conversations to share, and a podcast would be the perfect medium to share them. I believe everyone has a voice and an inspiring story to tell. By listening to inspirational stories, I can learn a lot about myself. By listening to powerful strategies, I know what to do. This is the gift I want to give to you. Many of the people I meet are in their own right very successful at what they do. Some of the conversations I have with them, many of which are very short, are nonetheless incredibly powerful. Now I want to share those powerful conversations with you. I get very excited at the idea of not knowing what amazing things might happen when you listen in onto the stories and strategies that I get to hear. That's why we're a community, and I invite you to share your success and challenges with me at inspirationalcreatives.com/contact, where you can leave me a voice message or a written message. I believe in the power of creativity and making connections. I'm highly confident that those you meet through these episodes and Inspirational Creatives will help change your life and the way you think about things. If I can encourage you to do anything with your life right now, I invite you to think about your big ideas and what you could achieve. Give some thought today how you could take one small action to start exploring them. Not tomorrow, life is too short. Make that first small step today. That could be calling that person you've been meaning to call, or listening to a podcast like this that can inspire you into action. Maybe you just need to create some space. Take an hour today to do that one creative activity you enjoy doing. I invite you to give it some thought. Who are you going to connect with? What resources do you need? Who are you going to listen to? So here we are, and here's some of what's to come. Episode 1 kicks off the series with a chat with a very successful entrepreneur who is well known for having created a $10 million business with simply $10 and a laptop. It was my meeting Greg Hartle in Berlin earlier this year, 2014, that brought this series to life. I began by asking Greg who his greatest inspiration was growing up.
Without question, my mother. So I grew up with a single mother. My mother and my father divorced when I was 5. I have only seen my father one time since then. We don't have a relationship together. So in large part, my mother was that force in my life that through teaching and more through just her overall actions herself, has been a great inspiration to me on all the things that I think it takes to really be a great entrepreneur, or just, do the things you want to do with your life from the standpoint of, hard work, dedication, resilience, grit, all the things that all the skills you can't necessarily learn in a book or without serious practice.
And ask Greg what his advice was for those wishing to give up their career to follow their passions.
My advice may be a bit unconventional compared to most people who are in my position may answer this question. And I would say, first of all, are you sure?
You can hear Greg's full response in episode 1. In episode 3, I speak with Pam Slim, and I asked her what work she gets paid for that she enjoys.
Really, most of my work is work that I totally enjoy, and it's probably because I'm just genetically incapable of doing stuff that I don't like, which is easier as an adult than it is to be younger, because all of us sometimes need to do things that we don't necessarily want to.
In episode 5, I asked Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com how minimalism can inspire a creative life.
The greatest thing about minimalism isn't that you're removing possessions, it's that you're able to fill your life with new things. Minimalism ultimately is about the things you're adding to your life because of the things that you are subtracting.
You can hear all of these interviews in full and much, much more by subscribing to Inspirational Creatives in iTunes. Thanks so much for listening to this episode today. Come and join us over at inspirationalcreatives.com, where I'll show you how to take your creativity and your creative business to the next level. I'd like to leave you now by thanking my friends and family, and particularly my wife Sandra, for all the support launching Inspirational Creatives. I hope you like it.